1 and started, right? 3, 2, 1, start.
Hi, my name is Vishal and I'm the founder of Wine Park. Wine Park was founded in 2007 with the intention to bring some of the most exciting small boutique producer wines into India. And we've been doing the same for the last 15 years. We supply to some of the finest hotels and restaurants in India, but during the pandemic, when everything got shut down, we decided to go directly to B2C and open our website called thewinepark.com. And then it was just exciting to open a small space where you can see our entire selection of close to around 200 wines that we import into India in this cellar-like wine shop that we have, which is also an experience center. And today we are going to talk about 5 wines that I think I love to drink anytime. Either you are having it all by yourself or with food, which is also a very integral part of drinking wines. So let's start off with the first one. I think it's wise to start off with a white. And this is a white from Burgundy. I think Burgundy is the holy grail for wine enthusiasts. Whoever is a wine enthusiast has to go to Burgundy. And it was also one of my first visits in 2003. And I fell in love with Burgundy the minute I stepped into it. 2 grapes which are grown in Burgundy. If you drink a white wine, it's Chardonnay. If you drink a red, it's Pinot Noir. And this is a Chardonnay that we bring in from Burgundy, from a producer called Vincent Girardin, organic producer, grown in a region called Merceau, which is one of the most exciting regions in Burgundy itself. And it's a Chardonnay. It's a very steely Chardonnay, right? Like Burgundy has got, the winemaking is all stainless steel tanks, and it's all very terroir driven. It's a chalky soil, it's very minerally, and when you drink this wine, it transports you into Burgundy if you've ever been there. What is the food to drink with? I mean, I would drink this by itself. It's like the first wine as an aperitif. But if you're having seafood like prawns, in garlic sauce or something like that, it's just an amazing match, to have. So try it without food, try it with food, and you will see the transformation. Let's go to the next wine that we have. French wines always has been phenomenal, and this is a wine not to be missed. It's a Côte du Rhone from the Rhone Valley. France is 5 regions, main 5 regions. One is Burgundy that we talked about. The second is Rhone. There is Champagne, there is Bordeaux, and then there is the Loire Valley. So let's talk about Rhone. The Romans used to go to Rhone to enjoy their vacations, their holidays. It used to be this phenomenal Mediterranean climate. After all the wars, the generals used to go with their family in order to rest. And this winery comes from a region called Gigondas. In the family since 1570, I think about it, 14 generations of winemaking. Louis Barol, who is currently the winemaker, has it in his family forever now. And when we visited them, they still make wines in Roman gallo vats, which are dating back to 16th century. In fact, they have a small room which is dating back 1 BC, which is insane, I think. And it's a Syrah and a Grenache, beautifully balanced in the Rhone appellation. What can you pair it with? I mean, I think you can just drink it by itself. You can finish a bottle without even food coming on your table. But if you have to pair it, I would say like a nice light chicken dish, with some mushrooms and some garlic, some olive oil, and I think it's a light dish. Though it's Syrah, I think it will just pair very well. It's a very balanced wine, and something to look for. One of the third regions that I love, absolutely love, is Italy. Brancaia is one of my favorite producers. Uh, we've been importing Brancaia for the last 14 years. It's one of the first wineries that I got into India, and everybody said why. And when I met them, it was just we fell in love. It is the story of a family who just came for a vacation in Tuscany, and then they fell in love with the region and decided to buy a small property, and along with the property came the vineyards. And when they had gone to this region, the current winemaker was a girl. During that time she was doing her architecture, and when she came to Tuscany she said, Papa, I don't want to do architecture. I want to become a winemaker. I love this place. And since then, since 1983, she has been making some of the most incredible wines. We discovered them in 2009, and today I can proudly say that Brancaia is one of the most exciting Tuscan wines. They are a super Tuscan specialist. This is a blend of a Sangiovese, which is the main grape varietal for Tuscany, and a little bit of Cabernet and Merlot. The beauty of wines coming from all these regions is they are so integrally involved with their food. So if you think of drinking Tre, you can drink it by itself, but I think one of the easiest pairings would be like a pasta or a pizza. Like you have the tomatoes in the pasta, and with acidity of the tomatoes and the acidity of this wine, it's just a beautiful balance. I think this is one of the most exciting food and wine pairing wines. If you get to try, you should just order a pasta or a pizza and just open this wine, and I think you'll love it. Okay, Spain. I feel my wine experiences are very integral to where I travel. And the second region that I ever traveled to after France was Spain. And I think Spain is so underrated, with France and Italy being the giants of winemaking scene. But I think Spain makes some of the most exciting wines today, and we came across this producer called Rhoda from Rioja, which is one of the most exciting, one of the biggest, most important wine regions in Spain. And Rhoda and Rioja is actually 160 kilometers away from Bordeaux, which is the French top wine country, and all their experiences of winemaking comes from Bordeaux. But Rhoda in 1990s came into the scene and said, we are not going to make traditional wines. We're going to make wines which is going to wake up the world and say, yes, we are doing something unique, and we are bringing out the Spanish terroir. And that's exactly what they did. They came into the scene and they made wines which were very terroir centric. They use less oak as compared to most of the producers from Rioja, and the wines are just beautifully balanced. I think today, if you drink Stella, it's a Tempranillo, which is one of the main grape varietals from Spain. And Tempranillo is very food friendly, again very similar to Sangiovese, but again with Spanish wines and food which is so integral, the paellas and the seafood, the sardines. If you go to Spain and you have all these all their tapas, I think Sangiovese just goes amazingly well with it. So order some food which is a paella from a Spanish restaurant. Open a cellar and see how well it goes with it. The last one that I think, and I think it's a favorite of most of the people in India, is a Malbec. Malbec has got a fantastic history. Actually, Malbec originates from France. from a region called Cahors, but in the 1860s or the 1870s, it migrated into Argentina and it took shape into Argentina, and it became their grape varietal. And today, everyone associates Malbec with Argentina. So today, if you look at Crios, which we are having, it's made by a producer called Susana Balbao. She is the first woman winemaker in Argentina in the 1980s, and she's known as the Queen of Torrentes. But she makes this beautiful wine called Crios, which means offsprings, which is dedicated to her kids. And Malbec is this beautiful, fruit-forward, friendly, jammy, a little bit over-the-top wine. And I think if you're eating a mutton dish or a lamb dish or a little bit heavier dish with the Indian cuisine, I think this wine will just wonderfully pair with it. It just goes by itself also great, which I'm currently drinking. But you can never go wrong with Malbec. So enjoy your festivities with some of the most exciting wines from Wine Park. Cheers.